Okay, so as you're about to see at the beginning of this video, I talk all big about how I'm not scared of Nintendo, I'm gonna share this info, and then I'm about to post the video and I notice that no one else has posted anything. Everyone is saying that their videos and their even like Twitter posts are like genuinely getting taken down by Nintendo, so okay, fine. Fine, I'll not risk it. I'll post the video, but with no visuals, so you will hear me referencing a document. So you can either just like, I'm just gonna put some B-roll. You can either listen to me reference the document and just imagine what I might be seeing, or you can look up the document yourself so you know what I'm talking about. Either way, here's the video. Sorry, Nintendo gotta be this way. The NSO Playtest program is a few days away from launching, and yet somehow people have been able to gain access to a document really just kind of outlining the whole thing. I don't know if they were supposed to yet, or if it's been data mined or something. It's a little hard to find info on major publications because none of them want to reveal anything and make Nintendo mad, so details are sparse. And you know, I'm not an official I'm not a big publication. I don't have a relationship with Nintendo. I don't care. I didn't even get the invite. I didn't even get in. I'm not even the one being asked not to share it. It's the people who are doing it, right? I'm just passing it along. On that note, though, it is funny, sort of an aside. I say I don't have a relationship with Nintendo, and it mostly is true. They used to give me codes, not even like early or anything, back when I was in the brand ambassador program, but they kicked me out in like 2020. And just the other day, they gave me, through a different marketing agency that I'm not familiar with, they gave me a code for Mario Party. And that's weird. It was very out of the blue, and it seemed that they were giving it to Topic Arlo. So not Arlo stuff, they were like, hey, Topic Arlo, you want a code for Mario Party? Really weird and random. And so now there's this, and now it's like, okay, am I gonna risk making Nintendo mad and kicking me out of the program again? Am I playing with fire here? No, I don't know. I mean, if there's a thing to talk about, I'm gonna talk about it. I don't care if they give me codes sometime. I mean, it's cool if they want to give me codes, but yeah, I'm not going to talk about this. This is too interesting. So anyway, back to it. Here's the document. It's a game. It's the thing that it ended up being is so much more interesting than I think anybody could have anticipated. And it's really funny. It was probably wise to temper our expectations, just in case this did end up being something kind of basic, kind of boring. But in this case, we were, if anyone was totally mystified by this, well, you were right, because it ended up being something so much bigger. It's a game. It's like a big multiplayer game, and let's just go through the document. Let's just start looking at it. With the Nintendo Switch Online Playtest program, we aim to test the boundaries of mass multiplayer functionality and gameplay on our servers. Be respectful, all this stuff. The game's purpose. In this game, the goal is to work with others to fully develop a massive, expansive planet by utilizing creativity and farmed resources. As you progress across the planet, you'll discover new lands, enemies, and resources that will become essential to your journey. So right off the bat, most people, they're saying it's a strand game. It's a strand-like game where you have this global communication network and everybody is, you know, basically helping to collaboratively establish this network. My mind also goes to that cube thing Peter Molyneux did, where it was like this big mystery and there's a big cube and everyone was trying to break to the center of the cubes and it was this big thing. So it's a little bit of both of those things. And the funny thing is, you know, it's going into the game, and yet like we still don't really know. Like, I'll just skip ahead a little bit. We don't exactly know what the game looks like or what the gameplay is like. I guess it looks like this, but this also seems very, I mean, we know this is not a finished game. This does seem to be some sort of, it is a test, clearly, but like, is that indicative of the actual gameplay? I suppose it will be something like this, third person running around your little monkey or something. I don't know, but let's keep reading. How to develop. Throughout your adventure, players will be granted special tools known as beacons. These beacons emit a healing light that purifies and develops the land. The higher your beacon is placed, the wider its beacon zone becomes. Within your beacon zone, your best work can be done. Players will repeat the process until their current planetary block is considered fully developed. Okay. Beacons. You place beacons, and as you can see here, it kind of like, it always extends downward. So yeah, the higher you do it, the more of a place it purifies and develops or something. I'll save more speculation until we get the whole picture. About the beacon zone. The beacons players receive will be their most valuable tool. You are the master of your beacon zone. Only you can move, lift, or edit items within your beacon's light, just as others cannot edit things within your beacon zone. You cannot edit things in someone else's beacon zone. Places outside of beacon zones are public areas that anyone can work in. In public areas, anyone can pick up things, place them, and edit them. To protect your builds and precious items, you'll want to store them inside your beacon zone for safe keeping. And editing things, I guess they seem to be... Oh yeah, they're trying to pull on it, but they can't. This guy's like just taking a nap. Okay, that's cool. The dev core. The dev core is a separate space from the planet you'll be developing. Think of it as a social hub to gather with other players. At the dev core, you can level up your character, get items you will need for your journey, commune with others, and more. Leveling up your character. About dev points. Anytime players make progress in developing the planet with a beacon's light, they'll earn dev points. Players can use dev points in the dev core to raise their development level. By increasing your development level with these points, you can obtain convenient items for further development activities. Connex points. Players earn Connex points by interacting with other players in a variety of ways. Players can use Connex points in the dev core to raise their connection level. By increasing your connection level, players will have access to fun, community-related items. UGC features. Our UGC, user-generated content features, will allow players to create content that they can use themselves as well as share with other players. You can make all sorts of different UGC in-game. You can receive feedback by sharing the UGC you create with other players. To create UGC, you must obtain a UGC license by taking a test in the game to show that you understand the importance of respectful communication. Before you can play our game, you've got to take a test that shows that you can play nice. There's a reporting feature. Development Positioning System, DPS. Every player is equipped with a special skill known as the Development Positioning System, or DPS. This allows players to see a wide array of details, including the development status of the planet and the positions of other players. Spectate feature. With the DPS's Spectate feature, players can see beacons and other players from great distances. Because this software is for verification, you cannot turn this feature off. If you've misplaced your beacon, you can use the DPS to warp to it. If for some reason you are unable to locate your beacon, please visit the dev mind in the dev core. Talks about save data. Like, we expect your save data to be all right, but it might get deleted if it does. Sorry. And then just regular old, like, technical FAQs, just kind of talking, you know, getting into some specifics. That's basically it, though. So it's like it paints kind of a broad picture, but like the moment-to-moment gameplay is still a little mysterious because it talks about editing items, interacting with items. I don't know what like items do. You know, like how you place beacons to develop things. I don't know in what other ways you develop. Is this just Minecraft? Are you just like putting down materials wherever you want, or is it really just when you place a beacon and then it kind of develops the area around it? I really don't know how much of this is. I mean, it keeps talking about user-generated content and your, you know, dev core development level and connection. So it does seem that there's going to be, it's got to be some sort of building thing. There's got to be some way. I like analyzed all the little logos or whatever, but like there's got to be building stuff. You know, yeah, Minecraft or something similar really does come to mind. And people are just kind of building out these spaces and developing this planet. I don't know how much of this planet they are going to develop by the end of this. Is that like the goal, to get the whole thing developed, or is that just not even possible? I don't know. So we could speculate all day about the finer details of what this game really is at its core. But I mean, really the question is just like, what is this? What's going on? I mean, I think it's pretty obvious that this in itself is not a game. People have pointed out that it does have like an ESRB rating, which kind of suggests that it is a game, but it's, you know, I think they did that to kind of protect themselves, which is actually pretty interesting, doing a playtest of this kind of prototype, but still running it through ESRB and all that stuff, just to make sure that they're, you know, legally in the clear. But it does seem to just be sort of a prototype. So, like, even if this itself isn't going to be a game, it's clearly pointing to a game. This is clearly a test where Nintendo is just trying to gauge how possible this is on their servers, how it works. Clearly, they are going to be using this for something similar. Okay, I say clearly. It is Nintendo we're talking about. They do like to sometimes play with ideas and then just kind of discard them. Technically speaking, we could never see this idea again. Technically possible, but I think it is more likely that this is a prototype for a bigger game that we will eventually get, a more fleshed out version of this idea, maybe, or perhaps just a part of a different game. You know, like maybe this is the next Zelda. Maybe they're gonna even bigger, even more user-generated content. I really hope not, but I mean, it could. Yeah, it could be that this is going to be incorporated into some other thing, or it could be, you know, it'll be a brand new IP. It is very... The whole thing is surprising and not surprising. It's slightly surprising to see them get into this kind of thing when it hasn't really been their focus in the past. Nintendo has always loved multiplayer, but it's taken them a long time to warm up to like actual online multiplayer that functions as games do in the whole rest of the industry, and getting players, you know, with user-generated content, really connecting them together. They kind of toe in, you know, Mario Maker, that kind of thing. So it's interesting them getting into this kind of thing now, you know, especially after, like, there have been other games like this for a long time. You know, Minecraft has been around for a really long time. So it's sort of surprising, but then it's also not surprising at all, because this sort of connectivity, this is the kind of thing that Nintendo would be into. The connectivity between people and how they work together and how they work together to develop something. Clearly, this is very collaborative. It's not cooperative, or it's not competitive. So really, it seems like a very Nintendo-y idea, and it has seemed pretty clear now that moving forward, online and connectivity and those kinds of features are going to be way bigger for Nintendo. Going into next generation, it was all but guaranteed that the next system is going to double down on online features, getting people connected. It's, you know, it's a lot of the stuff. It took them a while to warm up to it, but now it perfectly fits the Nintendo model. The only aspect of online connectivity that doesn't fit their model is the whole, like, children safety kind of thing, people putting inappropriate stuff and them being held liable for that. Like, that's really it. If you remove that element, connecting people is all Nintendo has ever wanted to do. This is the kind of game... It's a very Nintendo-y game. This idea and trying to explore these new kinds of ideas. But that, I'm going crazy, just kind of speculating, getting into the design philosophy behind it. I really probably should stop there and let this develop as it will. Again, we only have to wait a couple days to get a lot more clarity on this. Yeah, it's crazy though. It's just like, it's nuts. That's what the playtest was. It was not a feature. It was not just some silly little feature that they're like testing out. It's a game that's like some sort of experimental strand-like game experiment, kind of whatever. And yes, I will admit that does make it hurt more than ever that I didn't get in. It is particularly disappointing to not be able to get in on this weird thing that Nintendo is doing, and a game where everyone is looks really fun. It looks really, really cool, and I'm really looking forward to all of the stuff that will inevitably be leaked about it, all of the gameplay videos and streams and analyses and whatnot. I look forward to it all. And it probably goes without saying, I also look forward to whatever this ends up being a prototype for, whether it is some sort of like baked in online functionality of the Switch 2 or simply a future game. Whatever it is, I look forward to seeing the full version if it ever happens, which you really cannot guarantee at this point.